What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to analyze the tape of Jalen Carter as well as Jordan Davis. We're also going to get into some of the plays that guys like Nakobe Dean and Zach Baun also made. Very excited for this video because I truly think the Green Bay Packers have a top 10 run scheme and offensive line combo, and the Eagles did a pretty good job yesterday. Josh Jacobs did have a couple of really nice big runs that kind of skewed the numbers, but there were a lot of negative plays as well, including plays like this. This one here was the first play of the game. And you saw Jordan Davis absolutely blow this one up. You got the entire defensive line, in fact, slanting a gap towards the left. And as Jordan Davis is going to slant towards the left, he's going to swim over the top. This is something that I feel like Davis wasn't doing as much just a year ago. And you saw him utilize a little bit more of things like this. The advanced techniques where you get the left arm on a guy, bring the right arm over the top. It's a pretty nice job right there. And of course, he gets in the backfield and blows this entire play up. I'm excited for this film breakdown. Let's just get right into it. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and get into this next snap here. One of the things that Vic Fangio wanted to do coming into the Eagles is to really be able to stop the run. Right, get a lot more productive in terms of the run fits, be able to take on double team blocks by the interior guys as well. You know, this game was not perfect for the Eagles defense, and I think the field conditions was a big factor to that. But one of the things that I felt like I noticed watching all the different snaps with both Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter is that both guys did a pretty good job handling double teams. You guys keep an eye here on Davis. Davis is going to end up getting double teamed here by the left guard, left tackle, and watch him hold his ground here. Watch him make it difficult for those two guys to move him. To me, that's a really good job right there, because not only does he do a good job holding his ground and controlling that guard right there, but the linebacker essentially goes free off of him. So if you keep an eye here on number 53, Baun, he's going to essentially be able to get around this. And he's going to be one of the guys that kind of makes the play and stops this play for just a gain of about 3 yards. If you guys keep an eye on Jalen Carter, he also does a pretty good job. And Dean is going to be able to actually jump the gap. And the center should have been able to get off the block here and get to Nakobe Dean. And Dean's able to kind of jump the gap there. He doesn't make the play, but he does disrupt the play where the running back's not able to bend it back towards the left of the screen. So that's a pretty good job by both Carter as well as Jordan Davis, but it's a good job by the linebackers as well. Both linebackers are kept clean here by the two guys up front. And this is a dual concept, right? So those two guys have to be able to double and then climb up to the linebacker. In this instance, the guys do a pretty good job. And again, this was one of the emphasis that Vic Fangio had. Now, as we're talking about Vic Fangio and as we're talking about his scheme and kind of what he wants, he also does a really good job designing blitzes. He does a great job simulating pressure. And here's an example of that. You're going to get a sack on 1st and 10. Just a really good job. The left tackle is going to actually make a mistake. The left tackle does not process this properly. Jalen Carter is also involved in the sack, but it is mostly the linebacker that's going to kind of cause that sack. Let's talk about this play a little bit from a scheme perspective. So at the moment, you got 4 defensive linemen, and you got a 5th guy here that's essentially going to come off the edge. Now, the thing with this play is you're actually only going to end up bringing the 3 guys and the 4th guy here, because Brandon Graham here is going to actually drop off and he's going to drop into coverage. So now that right tackle actually is going to have to process and get into the 2nd defensive lineman here. And then the right guard has to switch and get to the next guy. The center has to get to the next guy. And then from there, the left guard, left tackle are able to pick this guy up. But in this instance, it just doesn't happen fast enough. And you're going to basically get a guy coming off the edge unblocked. So this is why teams run simulated pressures. It's one of the ways that you're able to generate pressure with only 4 guys actually coming, right? It's a blitz with 1 guy essentially dropping back into coverage. So this is a really good job once again. Carter also does slant over, and then he makes sure that Jordan Love is not able to kind of take off running. It's a great job right there by both Baun and Jalen Carter. Let's go ahead and get into the next snap. I do want to just point one other thing out, because this is one of the things I noticed play in, play out. And that was the safeties for the Eagles yesterday. These guys were coming downhill. These guys are hitting. These guys are filling their run fits. These guys are making plays. On this one here, both CJ Gardner-Johnson as well as Reed Blankenship are going to end up getting there. It's Gardner-Johnson that actually blows it up and makes the play initially. But you can see the other safeties there as well, right? Number 32. But again, I love the fact that the safeties are coming downhill, because it's one of the things I noticed a lot this season so far, right? With the Vic Fangio scheme, guys are coming downhill from the too high safety look. Another thing I was noticing a lot last night was that Jalen Carter was getting double teamed a lot. This isn't something I didn't expect. Honestly, I expected this. Jalen Carter is now going to have to get used to being double teamed pretty much on every single play. I think at this point, he's probably the 2nd best defensive tackle in the NFL. And maybe that's projecting a little bit. Maybe you can say there's 2 or 3 other guys that are better than him right now because he is still so young. I'll take Jalen Carter right after Chris Jones, but he is going to have to get used to being double teamed a lot, right? This is one of the things that he's going to have to kind of get into. But with that, that also means guys like Josh Sweat will now be single teamed even more than what he was in the past. And he has to win. And on this one here, he does a great job winning. It's a really, really good job right there. Let's go ahead and get to the next snap. I also want to give some credit here to Jalen Carter because of the effort that he played with. There were multiple plays where this guy was chasing the play from the backside, runs, screens or run plays away from him. He was doing a really good job recognizing and putting the effort in. Some guys don't put effort in, and we know that to be factually true, but here's another one where he's going to give effort. He's going to run. He's going to end up chasing it from the backside, and he's going to make a play. And there's one more I'm going to show you guys after this. So this is the second one here. You're going to recognize that he sees the play. And look at that effort. Love the effort. Love the fact that this guy's willing to chase the play from the backside. He doesn't have to do this, but he's putting that effort in. Absolutely love it. This isn't something that I would say I 100% saw from Carter last year, right? I didn't see him necessarily chase plays down the way he's essentially doing. Right? This is the third time he kind of did this that I actually saw him do. So again, got to give some credit where credit's due. Let's go ahead and get into the next snap. Check this play out. Watch Jalen Carter. He's going to end up getting his left arm into the tackle. And look at him just long arm this guy, toss him back and get to the quarterback. Now the quarterback does get the ball out, so it's not going to be an actual sack. But just a really, really good job by Carter to be able to get to the quarterback. These are the type of pass rushes that I want to see from Jalen Carter more of. And I get it. The field was really, really slippery and the footing was not right, and I do think that kind of impacted these defensive linemen statistically. Also, huge credit here to the safety. This is a touchdown until it's not a touchdown, right? Because Reed Blankenship knocks the pass incomplete. You guys can see it from this angle here as well. Christian Watson here has the ball in his hands. It's essentially a catch, and Reed Blankenship's going to punch it out right there. I mean, that right there is a phenomenal play. Now, this was offensive pass interference anyway, so it wouldn't have been a touchdown even if it was caught. But to me, just a really good job by the safety to be able to find the football and make sure to force the incompletion. So just a really, really good job. Let's go ahead and get to the next snap. Jalen Carter is going to get a one-on-one situation here against the right guard. He's going to do a pretty nice job with the bull rush, and he's going to be able to generate some pressure on the quarterback and force the incompletion. It's a pretty good job right there by Carter. Let's go ahead and get to the next snap. All right, guys, check these next 2 plays out. On this one here, Dean's going to do a really good job getting his hands on the football and being able to break the pass up. Now, he doesn't knock the pass absolutely incomplete, but he does get his fingers on it. And I think he gets just enough on it where the wide receiver is not able to cleanly catch the football. And you'll even see Nakobe Dean at the end of this signal that he kind of got his hand on it. To me, this is a great job being in a cover 6 defense where he's the mid hooks. And he's able to get his hand just enough on there where he's able to break the pass up. To me, this is a really, really good job right here by Dean. He goes in and gives Quinyon Mitchell the thumbs up right there. He also signals he gets his hands on it a little bit right there. This is a great job right here. So cover 6, he has the mid hooks, gets his hands just enough on there where the wide receiver is not able to cleanly catch the pass. And then on the very next play, so 3rd and 15, and Dean is going to once again sniff the screen out, and he's going to blow this play up. If Nakobe Dean gets blocked on this play could have potentially picked up the first down. 3rd and 15, just a really, really good job here by the linebacker. Obviously, he's able to read it, see it, get to the running back, and make sure that this pass ball is incomplete. That's a really, really good job right there. Check this one out. Watch Dean jump the gap on this one and watch him blow the play up. That's a really good job right there to be able to shoot the gap. You also see Jalen Carter takes on the double team. The guard has to pass Carter off to the tackle. And then the guard has the responsibility to climb up to Dean. And again, great job here by Carter to make sure that it's not as clean as that guard kind of expects. You can also see that the guard kind of expected to lean into Jalen Carter here. And because of the fact that Carter just swims over him, the guard ends up losing his balance and Dean's able to kind of just get right through there. So that's a really, really good job right there. Of course, Dean makes the play for a loss of 1 yard. Overall, I felt like the Eagles defense looked so much better from a scheme perspective than last year. The guys looked a lot better as well. Dean obviously has taken the next step. You also got guys like Baun and then Carter's in year 2. To me, I think the Philadelphia Eagles should be able to get back to a form where their defensive line is once again a top 5 to 10 defensive line. The way it was 2 years ago, But that might actually not be this year, right? I think it's going to be interesting to see how some of the younger guys kind of develop. But I do think as an overall defense, they're going to be a lot better. Dean, Baun, Jeremiah Trotter might play at some point this season. Carter and Bryce Huff and Josh Sweat and Jordan Davis and some of the other guys as well. All right, don't sleep on guys like Milton Williams. Moro Ajomo looks pretty good as well. You got Byron Young, who could potentially provide a little bit to the Eagles this year at some point. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys did, consider subscribing. We are going to be covering the Eagles on this channel this season. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time with another video.